All right, good evening, everyone. This is the CSRN Weekend Review. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I know you're looking, where's Jody? I'm wondering too, where's Jody at? Hey, listen, what we're going to do right now, we're going to play our intro video and give everyone an opportunity to like, share, and comment. And we'll be right back. This is the CSRN Weekend Review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. Our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful...
Audio Jungle.
Yeah, now we're back. This is the CSRN Weekend Review. Hey, listen, when I started, it was like they saw an empty seat. They're like, "Where's Jody?" I'm like, "Well, he was going to jump ship anyway." No, it's all good. Hey, listen, I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I use the pronouns he and him. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey. 9 years ago, and we may be having our 9-year anniversary this year.
Yeah, we are in November.
All right. 9 years ago, they had this thing called Community Solidarity Day. They were doing it, and they wanted to ask me, listen, how can we make this a thing? So they brought me along. We had a protest at the county courthouse, and 9 years later, here we are.
Still going strong in
right,
one form
right.
or another.
That's right. I like that, or another, all right? Because nothing's going to stop us from getting it in. What am I wearing today? Today I've got my black hat, my brown rimmed glasses, and I've got a Dragon Ball Z shirt on. If somebody thinks, hey, what's up with that, Brother Washington? Well, this is an homage to our brother Botham John, who was murdered by a Houston police officer, all right, in his apartment. Well, the brother that saw it all and testified against the police officer, when he testified, he had this shirt on. A few days later, he was found dead. So, this is my acknowledgement that at one point we all got to step up, all right, and always say I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the loss, no matter the gains, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And it's awesome that you're not at the taxable today. All right. And we're able to vibe, man. It is lonely. It is lonely, lonely, lonely here when you're not here. Of course, everybody, some people still join in, but it's awesome to have you here. All right, I think that I've done my intro. If you can introduce you, what are you wearing? And then we'll get right into our mission statement.
Yes. So what's up, everybody? Good to see y'all lovely faces. Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. I'm the treasurer of this wonderful organization that's growing and continuing to go and all that stuff. Like that's just a whole onion peel of stuff with the shirt. I was gonna say it was because of your son, because he's in the anime and all the stuff, and then you just took it to a whole nother level.
That's very interesting. Yes, sir.
But this is also what happens when you don't watch TV and you do like 300 shows a year. So I'm like very spaced out to what society does or thinks about anymore, because it's hard to explain. But for those of you out there that are just listening, and we hope you're just listening, especially if, driving in the car trying to get home, seems how cars can blow up freeways and stuff. Shut up. But I am a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and my own clothing brand and everything like that.
Okay.
I'm an author, illustrator, producer, actor, director. I do political stuff. I am one of the precinct captains, elected officials here, have nonprofits, and I just got my bun on the wall, which means I'm kind of like Toledo famous.
You got your bun on the wall.
Yeah, I got bunned.
Okay, so you might have to unpack that a bit, because I see people giving a little bit more hearts than they should. All right.
Yeah, but I don't know. So we're a week and 1 day out, and I don't know. My bun is on the wall where Mr. T is. There's also Montel Williams. I made a little list of the other people, but Mr. T is the one that stuck out for me.
All right, a bun on the wall where?
At Paco's. Tony Paco's, one of our famous restaurants here in Toledo. It's kind of like
that was. All right.
Jeep. Like, it's known all over the world, but you forget where it comes from.
Okay.
Glass and stuff like that. We're the #1 producer of glass in the world. Our museum just won an award. Our library just won an award. It's stuff, the hometown kind of trying to be bigger city. The Metro Parks is doing good with the reopening of the Glass City Park. I was there the first time in 2020. That was the grand opening. But, it's like the always going out of sale thing. But at least the kid stuff is open now. So I guess you can call it a reopening again, even though we've been going to the park. Find my tags. But anyway, that is me in a nutshell. If you want to know more, I don't want to take up too much time, because I very rarely get to see y'all in this aspect of being on camera, because baseball season. So What was the other thing? We got to tell them how we get here, how we are so comfortable with just talking about the stuff that we do or activating stuff. And now you probably got what is my Black Lives Matter moment? Well, somewhere in there.
Yeah, well, obviously it's like you've been away for so long. All right. You talking about the end of the show. All right. Hey, let's get in with our mission statement, then your Black Lives Matter moment. Right after you do the mission statement, if you could think about, we've been together for quite some time, almost a decade. All right. And most relationships don't last this long. All right.
That's true.
Augur said the one I'm in right now. All right. Shout out to you, man. I ain't going home tonight. But if you could think about one of the things that we've done together, regarding social justice and really pushing this envelope off the table, what comes to your mind? So if you could read our mission statement, then we'll have your Black Lives Matter moment, and then we're going to take a break. I think we're coming back with Haley.
Yeah, okay. Coming back with Haley.
All right.
So in the whole theme of Mr. T and stuff like that, just remember to believe in yourself, because if you don't, no one else will. And this is how you get to be these awesome organizations and stuff. I pity the fool that doesn't believe in art.
All right.
Here's our mission statement.
All right.
We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, after it was announced that a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustice by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally, yes, equally to all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Whose quote is that?
Reverend Dr.
All right.
See,
we got to stay on him. We got to stay on him today. All right, now, your Black Lives Matter moment, and one time we need to get the folks to put up the graphic Black Lives Matter moment.
Yeah, we do got like thousands and thousands of like places of actually being there. So mine is more like a combination, because I don't know, one moment doesn't stick out to me, and I guess in the marching and the protesting and where we go phase. So one idea that sticks out to me, you didn't see a lot of protests doing, go into the police stations.
True.
Protesting to the people were actually trying to get to acknowledge what they're doing is wrong. It wasn't just like, we're going to go outside a Wendy's or a corner store or a gas station. No, we just pulled up to the police station every time. It wasn't like, oh, we need because I remember back like early, it was like, you want to get a permit to protest? I'm like, that's stupid. Like, wait, I'm gonna let you know that I'm coming to protest you, so you can already have.
Right, that's why it's a protest. All right.
Yep. So yeah, just remembering in times like us going to, even when it was just me and you, we invited a whole bunch of people and everything like that, and it wound up being me and you a couple times recording, and you could hear the prisoners pounding on the cells downtown.
That's right.
So
that
was nice.
That's a good one.
You remember that one?
I forgot about that.
I do, because it was like so many people said they're gonna be there, and then we got there, and it's like, oh, yeah, we can't do that.
They probably thought, well, we're already at the jail. All right. Hey, but that's what it is. Hey, listen, we're going to get into our guiding principles. This is like the glue that keeps everything together, because this is grassroots, a lot of different personalities, meaning that we probably got 3 or 4 Jodys. So how do we keep us all together? These are guiding principles. All Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe?
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe?
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe?
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
You
get that reverb? Audience participation.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, all right, yeah. We can hear it. I don't think the people here. We should get one of those cameras where they can see the audience.
True,
all right,
true.
Yeah, we're working on that. So we probably have to start a little fun thing for that. All right. My Black Lives Matter moment happened right after Tear Gas Saturday or May 30th. Mm-hmm. We decided that we couldn't meet in person, so we thought that we would do a Zoom. Yeah. All right. That's what we said. We learned from our mistakes and our victory. This was one of the mistakes, because a mistake is a unintentional deviation of what you thought was right. All right. So right after the protest or rally at the police station, we told everybody online, hey, listen, join us on our Zoom. Here's the address. Here's the pin. And we're going to talk about this. All right.
The second part, right?
Yeah. We had the Zoom. There were so many ignorant, racist people. Zoom bomb. And I'm new to this, Jody. I'm the analog guy. I still remember playing my daddy's records. All right. So this Zoom thing was different. I didn't know what to do. And I'm trying to tell Julian, hey, just kick him out. But you can't, because you don't know who.
Yeah. And like you said, the second part, we put the pin for the Zoom in the thing.
Yeah. All right. But it is what it is.
Clips just flashed in my head.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're going to take a short break and we're going to come back with Haley and we're going to talk about walking in confidence, in personal protection. Hey, family, this is the CSRN Weekend Review. What are we going to show? Oh, Bike Rides Matter. We'll be right back.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now, we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. It was something I was already doing with my daughter. just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just like interact with people, especially during COVID. You still like have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to like see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we riding, we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
All right, we are back. We're back. This is the CSRN Week in Review, and we got finished with Jody, but we're going to be bringing him back for community and concerns and top some loose ends, because if you know Jody, he's everywhere. Not only in my news feed or timeline, he's everywhere. However, we have a guest here today. Not really a guest, but a regular family member, as Jody says. Could you introduce yourself? What are you wearing? And what are we talking about today?
So as you guys know, I'm Haley. I currently have on a grayish white striped, I guess you can say, sweatshirt, blue jeans and white tennis shoes with braids and glasses.
All right. So
just simple.
Okay. All right. It's all good. It's all good. I think that's what we're going for today after watching Jody and all the trinkets that he had.
Right.
What are we talking about today, and why does it matter?
So today we'll be talking about kind of piggybacking off the Walking with Confidence. We're going to go over some just simple tools that you can have on your keychain, along with discuss my self workshop I have coming up. I'm going to draw. I did a drawing and I had people drop numbers. So on air, I'm going to have my daughter pick a number out, and we're going to announce what number won and who won the free self-defense class.
All right. Well, why is self-defense important? I think that most people that I know, maybe I'm hanging with the slow group, most people that I know think that it's not going to happen to them. Why bother? I'm just going to the store and I'm coming right back. Why is self-defense important?
Self-defense is very important because of what it's called, self-defense. We all need to know how to defend ourselves if something happened. And yes, you could just be going to the store. You could just be walking to your car. But how many people just go to the store and never make it back home? How many people just walk to their car and never make it back home? We understand where we see parents are just saying, I just ran in the store and I just came back out and my car was gone, or, things of that nature. So we can't predict the future. My favorite saying, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right?
Okay, yeah, I should be writing that down. Jody, we should be writing this down.
She'd just be going across the bottom of the screen.
Okay, we're going to do that.
Talk to the tech team.
All right. Talking to him, buddy. All right. What do you have today?
So today I brought just some little trinkets, and these are just simple things that you can carry in your pocket, you can carry in your keychain, just to help you walk with confidence a little bit. The first one is just a little cat ear, as you see. So this is just it goes in your keychain,
Okay.
and you can just feel it. It's really pokey.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So this is a simple tool. It's small, but it's effective. If someone was to attack you, yes, it's not going to. It's not a gun, so it's not going to kill
Right.
you, but it is sharp enough for you to get away. This is another form of it as well. This one is metal, so this one has a little bit more force to it. It's not as sharp, but it's heavy. It's solid. This is another one. This is a knuckle as well. And these are just simple tools that they're very small, but they can be effective.
Right. If I could talk about those, I know that it's a great chance that most of the predators and perpetrators are men. And I think that I can't speak for all of us, maybe just 95% of us, that we don't expect you to fight back.
No.
All right. We expect the easy Vic.
Mm-hmm.
We saw you at the ATM or wherever you were. We didn't expect you to have that. So if I caught myself attacking you and you hit me with one of those, I'd have to rethink, because I'm really not trying to wrestle with you. I'm trying to either take your purse, whatever I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do it quick.
Yes, it's trying. Most people want a quick grab and go.
Right.
Just quick grab and go. And even if it is someone who is a habitual predator, and this is what they do, because of course we know we have people who are repeated offenders. This is still something that you can use to distract, to get away. Like I tell people, these are not tools to that you're using to fight off, to kill someone, or the point is to get away. It helps you get them down and you get away. Also brought a little brass knuckle, and like I have people who are runners. If you're walking in the park, it's nothing to have this in your hand. It's easy carry. You can walk your dog and hold it. It's easy. And it's effective. As we know, brass knuckles, that's why they were illegal for so long, because they are effective. But it's small, it's light, but it's heavy, and it feels good in your hand. To me, it feels good in my hand. I like the way it feels in my hand.
Okay, yeah.
So
this is awesome.
And the last one is just a little ring. And that's just a little safety ring. And you just have that on in your hand. You can, I don't know if it'll fit on your fingers, but
let's see.
You can slide it on.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ooh, whoa. All right.
So, and even if it stops there, even if it stops up here, it's still effective. And then lipstick.
Okay, what is lipstick?
Everybody loves lipstick, but it's also a blade.
Oh,
so this is pretty. Another pretty piece of protection. Pretty protection, you get it.
Yeah.
But this is another piece of protection that's very simple, but it's pretty, and you can carry it with you. And these are just simple things. As you see, they're small, but they can be effective in trying to save your life.
All right. One of the first things I think about, and how do you have to learn how to use them? Is it hard learning how to use them?
It is not hard learning. If you can take and put your fingers through here and swing, then you have just mastered using these. I always tell people, definitely get comfortable with holding it, get comfortable with, playing with it and knowing what it can do. It's just like with any tool that you're going to use, you want to practice, you want to be comfortable with it. You want to like the way it feels in your hand. So when people buy these things from me, I always, from a stun gun to a pocket knife, I always encourage them to play with, before you even leave me, I'm like, let me see you play with this. Let me make sure that you're comfortable. Any questions you have, and I'm always open to call me. If you get in, you don't know, call me, please.
All right. Now, do you ever get nervous about showing these? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to ask. It just seems like, do people think that you are an aggressive person? Do they think that because you're selling personal protection, does it mean that you are an aggressive person?
No, it doesn't mean I'm an aggressive person, but it does mean I will be if I need to be.
Okay.
I always tell people a weapon isn't dangerous until someone puts you in harm's way. A gun sitting on the table isn't going to shoot you, or unless you need it and someone puts you in harm's way. So it's not that these things are dangerous per se. It becomes a danger when someone tries to put you in danger. So no, it doesn't mean you're aggressive. It just means that you're ready and you're protected.
All right. I want to get to there's going to be a drawing.
Yes.
All right. Are you ready for the drawing?
I am ready.
All right. How are we going to do this?
So I have the old pick a number out of a hat.
Oh, okay.
So we have a hat.
I thought it was hip hop's 50th year, and I thought
about it. I was like,
hey, okay, all right.
So I'm gonna just pick a number out of the hat, and I'm going to call the number, and then that's who will be the winner.
Okay.
So you ready? Do you want to pick this number? My daughter wants to pick the number.
Okay.
So the number that won is 87. So I'm going to have to look on my post and see who number 87 was. But number 87 has won the free pass to the self-defense workshop. That will be on July 2nd from 3 to 5.
Hey, didn't you sent me the was
yes.
that what you sent me? Let's see
yes.
if I'm going to see if they did us right this week.
And actually, I know Denise Peacock. So Denise is the winner. Up there we go.
All right.
So that's the self-defense workshop. It's from 3 to 5 at the Entrepreneurs Club. So it will be on July 2nd. We will have these monthly.
Oh, that's awesome. Where's the Entrepreneurs Club?
So the Entrepreneurs Club is on 222 Facet, is on the east side. Probably about 8 minutes from the casino. Check it out. They have lots of programs there. It's a great place. They have a hall there. So if you're looking for a hall to throw some type of event or anything like that,
I'm gonna have to ask Jody.
Check them out.
If he knew anything about the
Jody will be there Thursday.
Why does he know
walking with
everything?
walking with Jody? Look, it's all very, very good.
Man, I'm starting to feel some type of way. I'm like the last one to know. All right.
It's a really nice place.
All right. I see it on the screen, July 2nd, 3 to 6. Is that 3 to 6?
Yes, okay. 3 to 5 p.m.
3 to 5 p.m. What can people expect?
So at the self-defense class workshop, what they will be showing is just different ways to get out of different holds, like choke holds and headlocks and things like that. Although we have these nice self-defense weapons, the best defense weapon is your body.
Oh, that's
awesome. The best weapon is your body. These things are great, but as always, these things can be taken from you, or you cannot have it, or you cannot have access to them. It could be that time where you are attacked and you didn't have time to dig in your purse, or your keys fell. Yeah. So I always tell people your body is your best defense. So we're going to get women out and get them out there. It's summer. We're out walking. You're going on vacation. You're taking hikes. Ages 14 and up can attend. Please, please, please. I know you're like, it's $25, but $25, 2 hours will save your life. So check us out. Scan the QR code. It'll take you for the registration and payment. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.
My last question. All right. With all that you do, what do you do to rebalance? It's like, your whole day is, I've got brass knuckles. I'm talking about the cat. Do I call these cat ears?
Cat ears. Look, you're equipped already. Look at you.
All right. That's right. I'm finally win an argument tonight. That's for sure.
Pretty protection.
Yeah.
This is for the other side, though, not you.
Oh, no. Well, I'm going to lose the argument tonight. All right.
This isn't for you. No.
All right.
But to unwind, I read. I'm a reader. And then also, I am Respect Your Crown. So if you are, shout out to Ty of Respect Your Crown, Sunkiss, check her out.
Okay.
We are actually collabing, and we're doing Respect Your Pretty Empowerment Series. So our first one will be June 25th. I'll get you guys a flyer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what we are doing is a series of just empowerment it's not for women per se, but we are aiming at women, and eventually we will branch out for other people. And we'll have swag bags. Every ticket will come with a swag bag, and swag bags are just different prizes or different gifts from other small businesses. And we'll have crafts. We'll have a tea making. You'll make teas. So yeah, we'll have that on the 25th, and that's just one of the many things I do. I guess I'm trying to be like Jody, 300 events. I'm not trying to hit 300.
That's a lot.
I'm not trying to hit 300. No, I can. A 100 would be good.
He's a good standard.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
All
He's a
right.
high standard. I'm trying to be like mediocre, Jody.
Okay, all right. And I'll try to be like a mediocre Haley.
All right. Circle of life, right?
That's right. Hey, family. Will we see you maybe 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Maybe next week.
Yeah. Come on.
Maybe next week we can come through next week.
Through.
And yep, we'll come next week, and I'll have more information on the Respect Your Pretty. I'll get the flyer to you guys, and we'll be back.
All right. This is the CSRN Week in Review. We'll be back.
Did you know addiction is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. The Joshua Treatment Center offers culturally relevant, inpatient, and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober, safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN Weekend Review, where we come to you live, and we're streaming live from Mott Burn Library. So shout out to the staff at Mott that always lays out the red, black, and green carpet for CSRN. All right, whenever we come through. Hey, listen, family, before we do anything, I want to thank Haley Sheares for from Pretty Protection, Walking with Confidence, to come in and talk to us about protecting yourself. And what did she say? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. All right. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Hey, listen, as always, we have a special guest with us today. If you could introduce yourself, what are you wearing and what are we talking about today?
Well, my name is CT Dotson Chambers, and I am wearing a My Godfidence shirt, some jeans, and some tennis shoes. And today we are talking about an injustice that happened here in Toledo with my husband, Brian Chambers.
Right. Let's start from the top. What type of person is Brother Brian? He's a dad, husband. What type of person is he, and what type of injustice are we talking about?
My husband is a very nonchalant person. He's quiet. He keeps to himself. He's a good husband, a good father to his children. I would say he's an upstanding father.
All right. Beautiful.
He's active in his kids' lives. And the injustice that we're talking about is he was arrested and charged with kidnapping his own son, who he had custody of, who lived with us for about 2 years due to his behavior.
Right. Okay. I'm a dad. How do I go about kidnapping my own son that lives with me? he's my son. How does that even happen? Can you explain?
According to state law, anytime you move a person, regardless of their age in this instance, anytime you remove a person from a place against their will, if your kids say they don't want to go and you pick them up and put them in the car, then that's considered
Whoa.
kidnapping.
Okay, well, look, I don't know if my oldest son is listening, but when he was in high school, they had the prom, and then after the prom, he called me from the hotel. No, nope, no. All right, and he didn't want to go, but we left. We left, and I'm gonna move my child. I'm gonna move him. So, okay, so was he charged with that? And what happening, family? If you're streaming this, we're gonna have some information to show you so that you can get involved with this. Okay, what happened after that?
So he went to the school to pick up his son.
Okay.
And his son didn't want to go. He picked him up and he put him in the car. We had been getting calls from the school. He had been acting out at school. He ran away and went to his mother's home. So we did file a police report. He was
Right.
listed as a runaway. So when he got home, he tried to jump out of the car and run. My husband tried to catch him. They wrestled. His mother ended up pulling up and picking him up. The police
Okay.
were contacted.
Okay.
They later came and arrested and charged my husband initially with domestic violence. He got out on bond. Then they came back with an indictment of felony 1 kidnapping, as well as a felonious assault because they stated that his arm was fractured while they were wrestling.
How's your husband doing? I mean, all of this, look, I would do whatever I got to do to keep my son safe. Because if I'm not going to discipline him, I don't want the world doing it. I really don't. And it's as if we're trying to be good parents by letting our children know that there are some real boundaries. And if you cross these boundaries, I'm going to make sure that you stay within these boundaries. But it's as if that's illegal to do, you know? So how's he doing now? And what are some of the things, I don't know how's he doing now? And what do you think is next?
Okay, well, he did have a trial. It was a pretty much all white jury. It was not a jury of his peers. And he was convicted of the felonious assault as well as the kidnapping. And he was sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison.
And this is just over. I see this happen every day. I see people commit murder and get less.
Absolutely. I call it fathering while Black.
Wow.
Unfortunately, being a Black father is not easy when you are raising a teenage son. My stepson is 14 years old, so it's not a 5-year-old kid. This is a 14-year-old boy that knows right from wrong. Unfortunately, our laws, our legislator, and our local judges and politicians, something needs to be changed.
Yeah. And I don't know, who was the judge?
Judge Denise Navarre.
Okay. All right. And most of that's problematic anyway, from the work that we do. Most of that's problematic anyway. Oh, I want to put up some information. I was going over your Facebook today, all right, as we do at CSRN. Whenever we have a guest, Jody's like, well, check out her page, all right? I'll say, okay, Jody, you the boss. All right. It's like everybody the boss of me now. All right, this is what I saw earlier. All right, it says help for the Chambers family. That's your husband right there. That's
Yes.
Brian. Hey, when did we start this?
We started the GoFundMe, I want to say it was in April. And we started it as we are appealing the charges that were brought forth, the conviction. We are appealing that.
And all right here is the let me see, I got it right here on the paper too, because I can't see when they put those small letters on the screen, I know this is serious, but if there's somebody out there that knows anything about technology, we're trying to bump out whoever this person is that does our tech stuff. All right. So if you have any knowledge, I was trying to find.
And if you go to GoFundMe and you just type in help for the Chambers family, it should pull up as well.
Oh, okay. I had it GoFund.me/CDDCEBF0. All right, that in. Help us out. For everybody that's watching this podcast. Right. For everyone that's watching this podcast and you've seen some of the things that we've done, in the past regarding police brutality, protesting Trump, or just protesting, period. Well, that we do that to get your attention so that we can possibly support some local things. We can't always try to rally for people that's outside of our community, outside of our city, that's a celebrity or something like that. And a lot of us in the protest community and activist culture, when it's trendy to protest, all right? It gets you likes, it gets you follows, all of that stuff. Well, now it's real. All right, this is a real person that's been unjustly sentenced by the was it Lucas County?
Yes, Lucas
By
County.
Lucas County courts. Whoever the police that were involved did not do him did him a disservice. So this is your opportunity to not only be against the police, but also be against the courts too. We always say we want to smoke. We always say, Brother Washington, if there's ever a time that okay, so now we need you. But what we need you to do is go to the GoFundMe, and you said they could just type in help Chambers family.
Yes, help for the Chambers family.
Help for right. You just go in and type in help for the Chambers family. Now we need you. Need everybody to step up to help our brother, Brian, help our brother Brian minimize this as much as possible. When I first heard about this, and a shout out to is it Steve Red?
Yes.
Shout out to Steve Eaton. Shout out to Steve Eaton. Every time I see that brother, we hug. I met him maybe 9 or 10 years ago at one of our events, and he talked about some of the things that he was going through in the community, and we had a connection. And outside of Steve and what we're doing right now, I didn't see many men stepping up. And I think I can say that if it was for something else, I see everybody step up if it's for police, or whatever, we just arbitrarily pick what we want to support, especially if it's not something local. And this is my idea of drawing a line. So we at CSRN, we support Brother Brian. We support seating. We do not support what the Toledo police did or what the courts did. We want our children to thrive. We want them to be safe. And this is fathering while black. All right. I've never heard that term before, but we're going to start using it. Yeah, this is fathering while black. Can you I don't want to ask what the next steps are, because whatever the next steps are, we don't need to put that on the internet. We need you to support. Can you come back maybe at another time? Oh, no, I want to ask you this. All right, you got a lot going on, and I see you on the internet. Mm-hmm. And you appear resilient. You appear prayerful. You appear strong. All right. I don't know if I've seen too many posts where you're like, I'm just broke down and I'm ready to check it all in. Godfidence, is that Ransha?
Ranshay Allison.
Ransha, I'll call her Ranisha. All right. I thought I was going to say it right. All right. Is it Ranshay?
Yes.
Okay, it's Ranshay. I met her at one of the pop-up shops, and she had the Godfidence shirts on. I love our brother Bishop, Randall Parker. You've got a lot of things going on that help you be here right now. So what do you do for your self-care?
So God is what's keeping me strong. I do have a lot of support from family, from and friends. I go to church. My higher power is what gives me strength. I have a 9-year-old daughter who is going through this as well. And therefore, she's in counseling. So she has that support. So I have to remain strong for my daughter. I have to be strong for my husband, but let alone I have to be strong for myself. Neither one of them are no good with me being downcast. I know that God will have the final say so, and I'm expecting a turnaround in this situation. So I just look forward to things changing. I can't focus on anything negative, so I just stay positive. And I appreciate all the support. I appreciate being here on the show today to get the story out.
That's right. And hopefully we record this live, and after that we're going to get with Jody to see if we can boost it, see if Facebook will let us boost this so that everyone will be able to see this podcast, and particularly this part right here, because this is where a lot of us who started out with us as activists, this is what we protested for. Right, and make a donation. This is what we protested for. We wanted justice. So now we got it in Toledo. All right. We talked about George Floyd. We talked about Sandra Bland. We talked about Freddie Gray, Ahmaud Arbery. We talked about all of them. And they're worthy to be talked about. Breonna Taylor. Now we got Brian Chambers. Absolutely. Okay, so now what? Okay, now what? Do we just stay quiet now because it's in Toledo? Do we stay quiet now because you think CD is just going to go away? All right. No, we can't have it both ways. We can't be trendy protesters. Right. And then when it finally goes down in Toledo, we're not saying anything because I don't want to get in trouble with the police. I don't want to get in trouble with the courts. Well, if that's the case, what are you doing?
Not the time to tuck our tails.
No, it's not. And we've never been about that type of stuff because we're not connected like that. We don't have the same friends that will make us think, well, CD, we can't have you on because, somebody might be watching, or we can't have you on because we're still trying to do what we're trying to do. No, we can't do that. And also, I want to thank everybody that's in the chat. Normally, I was going to tell Jody, normally when we do a podcast, we have a few people watching. Now that we got CD on, man, we may have to have her just come back. We booted off her, but our correspondent to come back and tell us what's going on. But would you mind coming back at some point, and if we talk about where we are in the GoFundMe and what does CSRN need to do? Maybe we can even post this on our page. I don't think that we have this on our page, and we've got quite a few people that follow our page because they want to see when's the next protest. And sometimes I think it's entertaining to see Black people perform. All right. Well, family, we need you to do something else. All right. Jody's going to post this, or one of us are going to post this on our page. When you see the GoFundMe, click on and help. All right, that's what we need to do. All right, and I see our brother Steve in the chat. All right, that's what's up, Steve. That's what we need to do. We may not need signs right now. We may not need to gather. We need to do what CD is asking us to do right now. All right. If we got to take it there later on, she'll tell us. All right. And when she tells us that, we ain't gonna be weak-kneed. All right. No, we're gonna pop up for that. We pop up for everything else. You know, that's my last time saying that, but we do. I've seen it, and I've been a part of that thing. Hopefully, just to get people around us, so when it is time for it to go down, y'all here. So here we are, CD. We're here. Hey, listen, we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna come back with Jody and kind of put a bow on all of this. But could you come back maybe in a couple of weeks or so to give us an update on the GoFundMe, and then maybe have a checklist of what do you need the activist community to do? All
Absolutely.
right. And it is what it is. We'll check them off, and then after that, if there's any other activists in the city, we'll say, hey, look, some of us have been inactive activists. All right, it's time to activate. Here's what we need you to do. All right, so we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
So last year was hard. A curveball nobody saw coming was something terrifying and heartbreaking seemingly every day coming out of left field. Isolation, frustration, loss. A city in suspension, a ballpark made empty, and the roaring of cheers lived as only echoes on the wind. You know, someone once said, oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. For there was no joy in Mudville. Well, we come from and work from the mud. Took that dirt and sand, melted down and built the glass. Even if we lose everything, we know how to make something special out of nothing. That is the heart of this place, this city, this people, this team. There's a beauty in the contradiction. That is why we cheer when rounding the diamond. That is why we cheer when waved home. After a year of silence, we are being waved home. That is the sound of joy after the storm fades. The lightning in the pitch, the thunder crack in the bat. The joy in Hinsville is back. Welcome home, Toledo.
All right, we are back. About time. Hey, listen, family, this is the CSRN, our podcast week in review. I want a big shout out to CD that came in to talk about our brother Brian Chambers. You saw GoFundMe in the chat. You saw that we put it up on our page. So everybody that follows CSRN, if you want to do something for Black Lives Matter, support the Chambers family. If you want to do something to rally against the system, support the Chambers family. If you want to do anything regarding, I'm going to say F the police, but F the judges. If you want to do anything in line of all of that, all right, and then some, you supporting the Chambers family. It's like buying 10 defund the police signs, all right? So support the Chambers family. So listen, we're gonna wind this down, Jody. What did you want to do first? Did you want I don't know if you talked about the book signing.
A little bit.
All right. If you want to do that, and then I'll come after that with all of the Juneteenth events, and then we'll wrap it up with 5 minutes of heat. All right.
Yep.
I'm losing my words. All right, man.
So you went from having no people in studio to like a studio full of people.
Right. Now I want them to
Rubber
go.
bands
Put the light on and off.
Nearly falling and stuff.
Yeah. So what do you got going on?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on. Most of it's on my page too. I'm trying to I don't know. I'm not on socials. I'm just gonna call them socials because it's just so much more than just Facebook. As much as I used to. I'm enjoying the space of having privacy, which before it was just like, here is everything that I'm feeling and doing and all the time, all the stuff everywhere. Now I don't have to.
Okay.
Now I'm comfortable with like, hey, I got this going on, that going on. Oh, you trying to be mad at somebody you don't know because they did something that you won't do. Nope, I'm not listening to it. I'm not feeding into it no more. And it was interesting. Like I literally haven't written anything new since like the beginning of May. This is the first time in 8 years, but I think I've said everything. I haven't created an actual piece of artwork that goes along with the brand since the butterfly. And that was September, almost 2 years ago. And I'm okay with that because I really have so much. I've actually done some paintings and some gift givings and the vendor events and all that shows that I'm happier, I guess, in a way. Because I'm no longer thinking like I'll still go on a 16-hour painting adventure and finish the rest of these boxes. I got like 8 left to do. But in essence, there's no reason for me to have to do this stuff if I'm just normally kind of helping people catch up.
You know, while you're talking, CD's still getting love coming in. So every once in a while you're talking, somebody might say, go baby sis. They're not talking about us. They're not talking about us.
No, but that's
they're not
like,
talking about us. All right.
It's also the awesomeness of the studios, though. As the story was going on in the beginning, it was like, wait a minute. We was laughing for a moment. There's a youth in the studio, and we had to be like, don't ever try that and stuff. But then you get to, I don't know, the stuff of being an adult. And I think I might do that one today. I have trust issues. I'm not sure. I've always done a freestyle with my life. Even the book signing. Like that was manifested. That was talked about. I humbled myself because they lost it after 2018, but I didn't earn it the right way. I just came in and said, hey, I do all this stuff. And they was impressed because most people, when they start talking, is like, oh, yeah. So did you do anything normal? Like you don't even got one?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So I like to tell people I don't check all the boxes. I'm a circle.
Okay. All right. And I've been with you long enough to either check them all or none of the above. All right.
That's I'm a circle. Like if it cracks, my friend was telling me, oh, you do all this activism stuff and how you going to talk to bikers? Because we got an event coming up.
Okay.
But and I was like, yep, I looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, but I'm a platypus. You don't know that. Like I'll be hanging out in the woods. I'm going skydiving this year and whitewater rafting and all of the life stuff. Like it's interesting. It should be interesting.
Definitely.
And now finally up to the book signing. Book signing was awesome. Thank you for everybody that came out. There are going to be multiple book signings because book signings for me, I've been selling the same book for 8 years.
Oh, that's what's up.
The Tears of the Wounded book that started my whole journey. People are still buying that. I'm not putting up billboards or going on talk shows or radio shows. It's just the content of what it is speaks to people no matter what time period you're in. Helping increase the literacy of the world.
All right.
It's not a, I don't know. It's very interesting, but I got multiple coming up at multiple different locations. Again, I chose that because that's why I signed my first contract. So it was only good to come back there. I didn't expect to be like on the wall within a week because, you know, we don't normally do that as a company. But, you know, it's fun to be up there at the counter because I'm still going to work every day until I can't, until somebody that I feel is replaceable for what I do in the job. I want to just be like, I'm rich and then just dip off. No, because that would be wrong because you didn't get rich by somebody giving you something, you work for it. So
that's true.
You try and help people out along that way. So I could look up from me back in the kitchen making orders, and it's not an employee of the month, employee of the year. It's a bun that you can't buy. And know the right person. And there's probably other ways, but it wouldn't be earned the same way. So
that's true.
I feel it. And then there's other people like, I should have one because I do. And I'm like,
well,
yep. Okay. So be mad and eventually get you one.
That's right.
Figure out whatever it is that I do that nobody else does and get you one.
That's what's up.
The other back end of all this stuff. I do got a lot of stuff coming up and I know I'm killing time. So we got to get to this. Go on my page. There'll be a reel tomorrow. Yeah, real tomorrow, but there's flyers all over the place on the 15th, Thursday, yes. Thursday, I am at the Entrepreneurs Club. Same thing Haley was talking about. Kay Renee, and you may still be able to get tickets. We normally have sold out all these shows. We just kind of switched locations from the Truth downtown to the Entrepreneurs Club. So there's going to be 4 people there. I ain't gonna say all the people because I can't remember all the people at the moment. But doors open at 7 o'clock. She suggests that you do the Eventbrite, so that way we have enough chairs.
Okay, true.
I'm bringing merch, mostly books and artwork. I'm not bringing the big blue tent out. On the 17th, there is the second day of the Reggae Fest. It's actually a 2-day event for it's a music studio. Be Instrumental. Yes. Be Instrumental with D, who used to do D Delightful Arts. We do Cat Fest every year. So we have a fundraiser going on. There's 2 days. The first day is at Prime. The second day is at Joey Brown Park. It's a Reggae Fest. We have vendors coming and all that good stuff. So that's in the morning until like 7. And there's also a City of Toledo thing. I still don't know how that works, but I'm the talent.
All right.
Or the vendor. Not all the in-between. I try and do the in-between. Is like, nope. I got enough events to do. Later on that night, there's a comedy show, Giggle Fest or something like that at the
Yeah,
Code.
I saw that.
That's Vanessa Underwood. If you see her out and around, she does the convenience truck thing. It's kind of like a ice cream truck, but it's really like a convenience store and stuff.
A carry out on wheels.
Yeah, carry out on wheels. I can't think
right.
of the actual name of it, but love you. Thank you for inviting me. There'll be a whole bunch of comedians there, rappers, of course, me, the poet, and everything like that. On the 19th is the third annual Juneteenth festival, because we started at Ottawa. We went to the Glass Pavilion thing because we actually initially opened that. Sorry, City of Toledo, but we were the first people at the park. And then we went back to Walbridge. So this is the 4th year.
Right.
Yeah, 4th year of us doing that. I heard there might be a book made about Juneteenth since we're the actual organization. Shout out to
Shanichi.
Yeah, what he said.
That's right.
She does the LLC for Juneteenth, so it's actual organization
That's
that tries
right.
to benefit people and stuff like
That's
that.
beautiful.
There'll be blues and singers and all that good stuff out there. So that's the 18th. And then look up my page because there's a whole bunch more events. I got stuff in September. I'm going back to Chicago as the 3-time nominated best storyteller in the country and the first time best national spoken word male in the country, the only person representing Ohio on either of these tickets, which is very interesting. I'm not boisterous, I guess you could say. I do this stuff, but it's community stuff.
That's right.
I ain't out there trying to slam win everybody. I had those days. Shout out to Lonnie
Hamilton,
LJ Hamilton. Him and his team just came from Texas. If you don't know, he's been doing the Right About Now poetry, and they just won their first Southern Fry. The first, I think he said, people from the state of Texas that's ever won it, and it's 30 years or so, maybe longer. I call clips of stuff. That's kind of how life is for me. But shout out to him, a hometown Toledo native, and don't you forget it. I believe he's on that list somewhere too, with the Right About Now for best something, National Spoken Word Awards. And all that good stuff. Shout out to Chris Rodriguez, and I want to say it's a Brian, but I do know both of them. I just names right now, but they just finished the mural.
I saw that on the east
I think
side.
it's finished, so they might be doing some extra artistic touches, but it looks finished. It looks beautiful. Every day I get to leave the east side and come to Toledo, I get to see the bridge.
What do you mean leave the east side and come to Toledo? Like it's 2 different towns. Well, it is. It is. I've been there.
Oh man.
All right.
But that's how we consider it, because people just like, I ain't never been to the east side and it's a whole different city. Well, anytime you see me, I'm literally leaving my city, kind of the east side, and come here to do all this stuff. Hopefully we can get some more stuff on the east side with the park now.
That's right.
The park is on the east side.
That's right.
The docks are on the east side for people that don't know. And it's like, no, it ain't. Yeah, it is. And yeah, they had an art gallery opening. It was yesterday, the poet and Juliet something Simmons. But it was great. It's on my thing. You can see the reel of it. I'm happy to see many independent art galleries still doing stuff. I love the museum. I love the library, but they're backed by people. Independent art galleries are backed by people who a lot of times are starving artists.
That's right.
So
it's a difference.
Yep, big difference.
All right. All right. Hey, listen, before we get into our Juneteenth and some of the Juneteenth events that are happening, I wanted to just give a shout out to the Frederick Douglass that have supported us kind of from day one, the NAACP that have supported a lot of our political forums and also helped us get that red, black, and green flag up at Government Center. Some of the local pastors, I know I get on the pastors because I'm part of the faith business community. I know how we get down, but there's some pastors out here that have helped CSRN make to where we are now. Muhammad's Mosque number 91 in the Nation of Islam in Toledo, the Padua Center, the whole CSRN team. You see, sometimes you just you may see myself and Jody, but there's a lot of other people that make this happen. Jobs with Justice, Lama Humadop, that's where I work. So shout out to my boss. So because that's where Ray sold. All right, wanted to put that. And we showed our jobs commercial on our podcast. So I'm gonna use that, Jody, as leverage. All right, either gonna come out there with a check or cleaning my desk out. Either way, it's gonna be a change. Center of Hope Church and Dr. Donald Perryman for all the advice that he's given us on Mott Branch Library. What is Juneteenth? We're going to put up the Juneteenth flag. Hopefully next year, Jody, we're going to get the Juneteenth flag because we keep the red, black, and green flag, but there's a Juneteenth flag. And what is Juneteenth? The holiday's origin story begins in Galveston, Texas, which was the westernmost area of the Union in 1865, when enslaved people were told of their emancipation on June 19th, 1865. So they had technically already been freed for 2.5 years prior when President Clinton, President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. Slaveholders in Texas had kept the information to themselves as they do right now, all right, extending the period of violent exploitation of enslaved African Americans. The following year, in 1866, a celebration was had in Texas, the first Juneteenth observance to recognize freedom from slavery in the United States. Now, if anybody wants to get what say, well, Brother Washington, we really ain't free. I know, but I only got a couple of minutes for this podcast. All right, so yeah, I'm feeling you, but I'm just trying to get through this. All right. Oh. Which ones that I want to go with first?
I know there's a lot. Juneteenth, technically, if people also out there don't know, it actually became a national holiday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was the other part of it. So Monday we get the day off. Monday we get the day off. All right, there.
Well, I get the day off because I'm going to be vending and performing and doing my culture good. Like, I don't know, mentioning that it became a legal holiday and stuff like that, a lot of people kind of dismissed it as another thing that, they're just giving it to you because they want to make money.
Well, okay.
It's America.
Take the day off, bro.
That's what everybody does. At least now you can put your dollars, your community, your ancestral heritage to use instead of just, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, on June 17th at 9 a.m., Community United presents the second annual Juneteenth parade and ceremony. They're going to be lining up on Monroe and St. Clair. All right, lineup is at 9. They'll start marching at 10. So we need everybody to be there. Next up is the Juneteenth Community Unity Celebration. This is going to be June 16th. From 3 to 6, this is on 751 Division Street. This is the Junction Coalition. We do rock with the Junction Coalition. So see our sister, Alicia Smith, and everybody that really makes a great difference. Jody talked about this earlier. This is the 4th annual Toledo Juneteenth celebration, celebrating Jubilee, heritage, and culture. That's going to be June 19th. That's going to be the Monday.
Yep.
So a lot of us, a lot of us won't be able, shouldn't miss that. It's going to be at Walsh, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. There's going to be distant cousins, sax fifth music, a lot of great sponsors, live DJ, family obstacle courses, kid potting activities. Okay, that's what's up. It's going to be a 5K run too, which I am not going to be doing. All right, but come out and support that. The NAACP, they're having a Juneteenth celebration job fair at the main branch library. That's going to be on the 17th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I support the NAACP. I opened my mail today and I've got my NAACP card.
You got your black card.
Yeah, that means I can go and complain to them. All right.
Right.
That's right. But still, they helped us out quite a few times. Something else I want to put up there is I want to put up the Doug. Where's the Dougs? Also on June 17th, and that's the Saturday, right? So it's going to be a lot of stuff happening Saturday.
Yep.
You can visit more than one Juneteenth event. All right. It's okay to do that. It's okay to support more than one Juneteenth event. And Frederick Douglass, they're having this on the 17th, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Live music, food trucks, games, inflatables, and they're going to be a performance by the Toledo Symphony. So check our brother Reggie Williams and his staff that kept the Doug here. If it was up to a lot of us in the faith community, we would have wanted the Doug dead a long time ago. All right. And it's an interesting story to tell about how some of us in the religious community get down. But hey, look, I'm glad that Reggie and the board of directors kept the Doug here and we rock with the Doug. Also on is that on the 17th? Yeah, on June 17th, right here. Well, not right here, but at Martin Luther King Academy, right next to my branch library, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, right here in Toledo. They're going to have their Juneteenth Community Health and Wellness Fair. Last year, CSRN co-sponsored that. This year, the Q Dogs is making it happen.
Good.
I'm going to be there. They're going to have medical screenings. I need to get a screening. That's what my wife said, because she said something wrong with you. I don't think she meant it like that. But anyway, that's going to be from noon to 3:30. So check out the Q Dogs at Martin Luther Academy. And lastly, I'm knocking these on down.
Yeah, you're doing good.
All right. Oh, before
got the printouts and everything.
Yeah, because last time they put it up on the screen and I can't see that. I can't see it. All right. So I did what old people do. Print it out.
It works,
on big paper. One of the things that I didn't do today, we didn't do our Nguzo Saba word of the day. The Nguzo Saba represents the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, and the word for the day after I heard Sidi is Imani, and Imani means faith, and that means to believe with all of our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. So that made me think about our sister Sidi.
Awesome.
All right. And lastly, on Monday, June 19th, celebration of Black Kings. This is sponsored by Juneteenth, NYC, Toledo, TPS, and a couple other agencies are sponsoring this. They called up, or they recognize different brothers in the community, depending on the principle from the Nguzo Saba, and hey, they put me down for determination. So that's going to be at the Toledo Club.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
All right. So there you
Right
go.
on downtown.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they're not going to kick me out of there. All right. I'll be kicked out of better place. That's what I tell people.
And what time is that again?
That's going to be 5 p.m. Toledo Club. See honorees that are being recognized. Some of the people that I know here: Ernie Banks, I know Jay Black, Terry Crosby, Romulus Durant. I know David Bush. I know Chief Brian Bird, John Hobbs. I know Reggie Williams. This is like a who's who, so I don't know. I put me in there. All right,
it's awesome.
That's what's up. All right, maybe it was a typo, but anyway, big thanks to be recognized by your own people. Yep. All right, and that's all. That's always good. Hey, we're going to sign out, but I want to just let everybody know, if you want to support what we do, we want you to subscribe to our YouTube page. Where is our YouTube page right now? If you haven't subscribed to it, please do. We're trying to get 100 subscribers. I know that some people have millions of subscribers, but hey, look, we starting from the bottom.
Hey, I got 115 on my page. I'm happy.
All right, awesome. If you want to support us, you can support us via Cash App. That's #4 419 or PayPal CSRN 419. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, listen to us on Spotify, watch us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We still have Black Lives Matter signs, yard signs. We have our defund the Toledo police sign with the defund12.org/Toledo. And hey, join on. And man, soon we're gonna get some yard signs with our logo on it.
Yep.
All right. So we got those in the works.
That'd be perfect.
Hey, yep, we got those in
Know
the
what
works.
it is already.
That's right. Listen, Jody, I think that we've said everything that we could possibly say tonight. What do we have for 5 minutes of heat?
So that is actually a good question. I'm not too sure yet because there's a whole lot of list of things I'm doing right now. I'm making 3 different set lists for 3 different shows, so that way I don't repeat myself in the same week. But would you like to hear, yes, I have trust issues, or should I just kind of like scroll through one of these pieces and see where it lands?
How about this? We have never gone wrong when you scroll through and then stop on that one right there.
Okay, so we're gonna scroll through.
We're gonna scroll through
randomly from Childhood Trauma Series, whatever poem that is.
That's what
and
we
where
do.
It stops. I'm blindly looking.
Let's do it.
Oh, no, we're not gonna do that.
I
I was gonna do toxic, but this ain't a toxic thing.
I was gonna say,
I'm
I
actually
trust the
performing
process.
this week, so damn,
Okay, all right.
whatever this is,
All
and it actually turns out to be C. So you can verify it. Yes, I have trust issues.
All right, let's get it.
Saw me scrolling and stuff.
I did.
But yeah, so after the book and everything like that, I wanted to make a piece that kind of summed up, because I don't know, there are boxes inside a smaller, like a Russian nesting doll of creativity. And when I wrote the book, it says 1 year in America. It was like, oh, so this is what you were going through and everything at the time of writing that book. Yes, but it's also a double thing, because now that this 1 year is up, I'm also getting a chance to look back at myself and that reflection of purging everything. So really it's kind of like 2 years in the mirror.
I get it.
Writing it, and then the year of, have I evolved? Have I become better than the person that was trying to purge himself of whatever it was that I no longer needed within me? I think so. So that's what this piece is called.
I thought that was a poem. All right. Okay. All right. That was the pre-poem.
But also in honor to the other people, because I don't know who all of them are that's on the board, but these are the people that's on my board, just like weird, strange trivia. If you go into Paco's at the park downtown, hint, hint, and stuff, I might be doing an open mic there, hint, hint. Peter Marshall, Penn and Teller, Montel Williams, Glenn Campbell, Mr. T, Don Thomas, and then, of course, me. So that's what that sit on that board. And this piece is called, Yes, I Have Trust Issues, somewhere in the middle. Let's begin. Peace. If you're reading this or hearing this, you already know why we came here. Yes, I have trust issues, but I learned them somewhere along the middle. If you take offense to this and somehow think I am attacking you, you might want to look in the mirror, because we all believe the lie about something or someone at some point in time. And I'm just using mine to get what's off my mind. See, I have trust issues because every time I think that something's going right, there's always that little reminder at the back of my mind that this could go completely wrong, and somehow I wasted my time on someone or something that I found precious, when at the end, it was really just another lesson of just not getting it right this time. See, I have trust issues because every time I try and give someone or something this ocean of experience I've learned through trial and error, they were really just looking for a bottle of water, maybe to dip their toe in and see if there really was depth here. See, I have trust issues because the sky is not actually blue. And growing up my entire childhood, I was told there was 9 planets. Yes, 9 planets. But by the time I hit adulthood, there was only 8 to view. I have trust issues because every single folklore, fairy tale, bedtime, childhood story never came true, except for the trauma part of losing a parent or two, stress, trials, tribulations, and finally figuring out that it might not have been you. See, I have trust issues because I grew up hearing about racism, prejudice, crooked politicians, and found out, most of those people are just like me and you, who never got a chance to meet the opposition. So they just live on the fairy tale of this is what that statistical person looks like from outside view. I have trust issues because somewhere in the middle of growing up and finally finding my purpose, I found out most issues start with you. Trusting too many things, that someone or something is wrong if they don't think like you. When really, the first person you're supposed to be able to trust is you. I have trust issues because I know that somewhere in the middle of you reading this or me reciting this, you might have blanked out for a moment or two. And that part that I stuck in the middle that was really important got glazed over because this might have been too long for you. And peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. We don't clap our hands. All right. Jody, that was the perfect spoken word piece to close us out today. And I'm really glad that we use creative expression to end the meeting rather than a gavel or just some stuff from our former slave masters and their children. And we don't carry on all of their cultural stuff.
Yeah, because after the end, we're still family. It's an idea. It's a creation that we're doing with this podcast and maybe encouraging someone else. But I don't want you just to cut, copy, paste, and think that that's the best way.
That's right. Hey, and as always, all lives can't matter until what?
Black lives matter.
And Black lives can't matter until
all Black lives matter.
Justice or else.